Amazing figures for this year, with the largest market capitalization available. What are the expectations for 2025, the upcoming year? Do you still believe that this money will be good? Will the enormous demand continue to exist? Can they just keep making as much money as they have up to this point? In terms of NVIDIA specifically, I do believe that this trend will continue. Growth rates, in my opinion, will continue to be greater for some time to come. What increase is anticipated in 2026 is the specific focus. The street anticipates growth of only 20%. It will expand by more than 30% in my opinion. This type of plays to what I believe will be the chorus in 2025, and it still trades at a respectable multiple, a 25x multiple. NVIDIA is undoubtedly at the heart of the AI industry. I continue to believe that we have 2 good years left in this AI-based tech trade. Just to swiftly get to the point, Becky, considering the 87% move we've witnessed in the Nasdaq over the last 2 years, folks undoubtedly don't seem to be in touch with reality. Is there any way this can continue? In conclusion, the term artificial intelligence is a catchphrase for the majority of people. To put things in perspective, there are only roughly 150 million daily users on ChatGPT. That is equivalent to almost 2.5 billion Google users. We're only getting started, but I believe it will keep pushing big tech and the larger tech market higher in 2025. Through 2024, we can discuss a few of these significant gains. Tesla up 62%, NVIDIA up 171%, and Paler up 340%. Another example, Vistra is up 28%. Last year, that was the S&P 500's largest winner. It's a utility business. What does that indicate about the current state of artificial intelligence? It concerns AI's second and third derivatives. The $2 trillion in AI capital expenditures over the next 3 years, in my opinion, is the big deal. And look, I think those figures are going to be set in stone. Additionally, for every dollar invested on NVIDIA chips, there is a multiplier of $8 to $10 across software, as well as the rest of the infrastructure and technology. You consider nuclear energy companies like Aqua, the utilities, and the power. It just indicates that we are entering a new era. Big tech is not the only factor. Regarding your comment regarding small caps, I believe that the multiplier is the major example of a proven event. This AI movement is being adopted by the rest of the market, the rest of the tech industry, and the rest of the utilities. The only people who were left with the velvet ropes after that celebration, in fact, were the magas. The picks and shovels have been sold by NVIDIA. They are extremely wealthy. We've seen how much money companies like Google, Microsoft, and others have been spending due to their expansion. Do you need to make a big splash this year? Yes. And this quarter, I believe that will begin. As more and more of those cloud workloads start to appear, I believe we're going to witness a turning moment in the hyperscalers for Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. And use cases, in my opinion, are crucial. This is the reason you examine the unkempt AI pound here, in terms of their actions. It's only the first part. Another software business that is now beginning to take part in this AI revolution is Salesforce. That will be a major theme in 2025. Keep in mind that M&A will significantly speed with KH completed at the FTC, and that will be another recurring motif in technology. At the conclusion of the previous year, we observed a large number of additional businesses, which were either the real applications of AI or its side effects. We observed that they paused their AI apps to thoroughly examine the use cases and determine the most effective method. They reduced their cash deployment. What gives you the impression that they can use some AI technology fast enough to continue producing the growth and profits in the hyperscalers that will allow you to maintain the 20 to 25% return you anticipate in 2025? Yes, you make a really good point. That's all we do, you see. These use cases are booming for the enterprise, as seen by our travels around Asia and our conversations with businesses worldwide. Thus, you're beginning to notice that Paler is setting up Salesforce as the ROI continues to rise. You will see Snowflake, Mango, and others. On enterprise, you're going to see it everywhere, but once more, as if the ship had departed the harbor. To put it another way, the AI capex will exist. Now, 2025 will be about demonstrating it, providing numerical evidence. And for that reason, it's not only large tech. We believe that equities, especially tech companies, will rise by 25%. It concerns the involvement of other tech, including infrastructure and software. And haters hate, I would say. That's kind of what we've seen in technology over the past few years. In a scene like to a crowd theater, they will keep sorting fire. However, I believe that technology will continue to advance. How much of this argument is based on the notion that H-1B visas may be expanded in some way, and that more top talent and employees may continue to come to the U.S.? The United States is ahead of China for the first time in 30 years. As far as technology is concerned, I believe that skill is what will drive the AI revolution. Additionally, I believe that we have observed the deficiency in supply-demand. These businesses increasingly need to keep adding talent to support this. Therefore, if you look at what we're seeing with H-1B and how it all ends up working out, it will be a really significant event that takes place in Silicon Valley and throughout the tech industry in 2025. Throughout the holiday season, Elon Musk has been at the forefront of this discussion and dispute. Let's discuss Tesla. In a very bad auto market, especially for the European companies, Tesla stands out. This quote, I believe from Stan Doctor, goes, "You'd be surprised by how few people understand what makes a stock go up or down, what causes Tesla to rise or fall, since it certainly doesn't appear to be automobile sales. Something far larger must be involved. And in terms of Q4, we should expect deliveries within the next few hours, correct? Look, this is going to be an autonomous AI story for the next few years, and it relates to Musk's long-running wager on Trump. It's going to be the autonomous future, in my opinion. You're wagering on it with Tesla. In the end, I believe that's worth $1 trillion in terms of the story's AI perspective, even though you don't see that in the figures today. However, we'll be discussing deliveries in the coming hours this week, and the main thing is that deliveries from China, which were at one point a complete bust over the previous 12 to 18 months, have now begun to improve for Tesla. Additionally, that will be crucial. For what reason do you think that will continue? Because businesses like ALF are raising some of the same issues in the luxury market. Is the consumer side of things truly suffering in China? Why are you so optimistic about 2025? The demand for EVs is what we observe in the context of the Chinese market as a whole. I believe that many of those price reductions are in the past for Tesla. Although there may be some tense periods, I believe that China could eventually account for 20% more deliveries for Tesla. And for that reason, I believe that the bears have misinterpreted Tesla at this time. 10% to 15% of the delivery story is made up of it. For Musk and Tesla, the future is currently 85 to 90% AI and autonomous. When you combine some of the topics you are discussing, you get to the conclusion that for the first time in 30 years, the United States is truly ahead of China in terms of progress. At the same time, Tesla's success in China has been crucial to its dominance and success. How do you envision the growing gap and isolation between the tech stacks of the United States and China in 2025, and how they both sort of compete while also developing simultaneously? Indeed, it's a high-stakes game of poker because, in actuality, Jensen is the godfather of AI, and based on what we've seen with NVIDIA, where are the chips coming from? Arriving from Asia, from China. For this reason, the China tariff talks will be the culmination of this. I think Musk will play a significant role there. Cook is 90% CEO and 10% politician. Apple is a major player here as well, but in the end, I don't think it should derail the AI revolution. The trade in chips won't be ruined. We will experience white-knuckle moments, but in my opinion, and the strategy used in recent years, you should buy the winners when those possibilities arise. And I believe that this year's theme will be that. Select the year's winner. Your